Alright, this should be, let me mute everything else that we don't need. Alright, this should be up. Let's see. Got a good light streaming. Alright, I forget how much of a delay there is. Alright, everything looks good. Cardinal, you here in chat? Let me know. Alright, so I gotta click over here. Here we go. Alright, look, I got my shirt. Was able to meet up with Quincy a couple weeks ago. We chatted, had an awesome chat. So I want to say thank you to him, and he got me a shirt, and I told him I would wear it every stream, but I realized I just have this zoomed in, so apparently I'm going to have to work with my webcam. But hey, all right, everybody. We have all these awesome contributors. I spend all my time as volunteer, so if you guys could go down below and grab something, a shirt, a cup, a hat. Should ask for a hat. I should have thought about that. Maybe I'll go on and buy a hat. But just go down and support Free Code Camp. Quincy and Bo and his group are doing an amazing job. Everything here is 100% free, and they are doing a great job. And I want to help out as much as I can because, like I said, with the chat with Quincy, really kind of see what he's thinking and got going, and I think the organization is great. So there we go. All right. So what in the world am I talking about chicken nuggets and itertools? Is everything, let's see. Is chat back up and running? I know I restarted everything. Let's see. All right, good. Cardinal, is everything good? I should probably have Discord open so I could see you just one-on-one. That might be an idea for next week. All right. Okay, cool. So chicken nuggets. So actually, I stole this project from someplace else. But the idea of the chicken nuggets is you have, and it's from a very well-known organization, they have combination of chicken nuggets of 6, 9, and 20. And the challenge is, the problem is, for you to write a function to take, it started at least 50, and what we'll find out is we'll use the skills that we have. You guys can just put in chat, and we have some awesome moderators, and they'll make sure that what needs to get through gets through. So all right, but I digress. So the challenge was I want 50 chicken nuggets. What combinations of our 6, 9, and 20 to get 50? And then really even sophisticated, what happens if I wanted 53 chicken nuggets? How would we go about that? So let's just get into it. And then what we'll find out is we'll write a little bit more, and we'll see how in the world can we get basically every combination. And then we're going to look at a very awesome module, itertools. All right, so I got about an hour, so let's just jump into it. So if you guys are new here, I'm Sam from Python Basics, supporting Free Code Camp, so make sure you're going to get something today. And we're going through all the videos that I've already done, so you can see down in the description below anything that we've done here and you didn't quite get it, there is a video for it. All right, so let's get at it. Nuggets. All right. Pass. So let's just kind of think about this first. So we have, I didn't even check. Can we see this? No, I need to shrink that. Didn't think about that. Boom. So we have our combination. We have 6, we have 9, and we have 20. So how in the world are we going to do this? We need to think about this like a, did I keep the picture of the odometer? I did. Or the flipping clock. So this is the way I want you to think about this and how we're going to solve it and how we're going to lay it out and then how we need to design it. Let me make sure you can see this. Okay, so we have 6, we have 9, and 20. So we need to revolve through, and as we get back to a certain number of combinations of 1, then we need to flip it over. I was thinking about an odometer, but then I was hard to find a flippy, old-timey odometer. Then I thought about a bunch of things, but I'm a lot older than most of you guys. So found this image of a clock. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with 6. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to flip over to 9. And then we have to reset. Then we're going to come through and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, flip over, and then another one. So what does that sound like, the tools that we already have? Does anybody have any? I have way too many. All right. Let's see. No, this is not our first video. This is, Cardinal, you might be able to help me. This is our 9th or 10th, but you can also click down in the description. The playlist has every single playlist that of all these videos. Bo has done an awesome job of consolidating them. But all right, so basically this is how I want you to think about this. This is nested for loops. So we're just going to pick an arbitrary 10, and we're just going to hack through this at first. We're going to go 10 6 combinations, then flip over to 9. Then we're going to do 10 more 6 combinations, flip over to 9. And then once we get to 10 9 combinations, we're going to flip over to 20. Then as we're doing this, we're going to check and see if this total, our total, because Y is going to be our total number of chicken nuggets. Let's just do total. Let's change that. I had Y in my experiment, so I probably need to change that to there we go. And then where's my other Y? I got a couple Y's in here because that will be confusing to you. It makes perfect sense to me. All right. Total and one more total. So then we need to think about our challenge with our loop and then how to get in and out of it. So I'm gonna just kind of walk you through. So we're gonna be taking all of these combinations, and a lot of them aren't gonna work. A lot of them, as we go through these, at one point we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. If we have 4 combinations of 6, that's 24, and then 2 more 18s, or 2 more 9, which is 18. So 6 times 4 is 24, and then 9 times 2 is 18. 18 and 24, that may not be any combination we want. So we're going to let our program sort through all of these for loops and go from there. So, all right, let's get our layout. So then we're going to need to collect these and see. And it's good practice and experience. So basically, our first general idea is we want to know how many combinations of these different chicken nugget packages to get 50 chicken nuggets. That's our starting point. All right. So we need to get some variables going. So we got 20, 9, and 6. So 20, 9, and 6. Let me flip over here to chat and make sure I'm not missing anything. Global. Great question. All right. This means that a variable inside a function can be moved in and out. And because a variable by default is a local variable if it's inside a function, and it typically cannot be pulled out. So I wanted to do global so that when we are going and we want to test and look at our dictionary that has all these combinations, we can just pull it out. So that's what I'm doing right now. But yes, that is absolutely true, Cardinal. Thank you very much. It is the 10th. All right. So Cardinal is our mod. Cardinal's been around a while, been very helpful, and has moved up and is actually an admin on the Python Basics Discord, and also a moderator on this freeCodeCamp stream. So just want to say thank you, as always, to Cardinal. Okay, so we need to get a for loop going. So we have 3 different combination values. So we need to have 3 for loops. Yes, that is the absolute idea. So we need to then go through and set up a function. So each time through this iteration that we need to then, that math formula right there is absolutely it, except we're just going to use these because that variable is going to just go through. So that is exactly it. So let's just get at it. And then we're going to look at some pretty cool stuff. But this is just a great thinking problem. How in the world can I go through and move through all of these combinations to test it? So for I in range 10, and this was just my first hack, my first attempt at checking this. There are tons of better ways to do this. I haven't looked at this since I first solved it, and I've wanted to wait years to go back because I know there's better ways, but I have not wanted to test it until we got together to do this to see what actually comes out of it, because there are much better ways. All right, so this is going to be our 20 nugget combination. So that's our outer, that's like our on our ring going around, just like this. So this, we're going to cycle through our 6s all the time. We're going to cycle through our 9 loop every 10 times through. And then we're going to cycle through our 20s every 100 times through. Does that make sense? Every time through, so 10 go arounds, then move up to here. So basically this is our singles, our 10s, and our 100s place. All right. Okay. So now, then we go, and we're just nesting all of these. For range 10, should get chat open. All right. That's just our test right now. We're going to test for 50 to kind of wrap our head around it, because there is a threshold where below that a combination of these will not work. But in the original instructions for this problem, 50 and up works for every single one. And then we're actually going to use our skills that we have about try and accept to see how low it can go to go from there. So, all right, here is that's our 9 combination. And then now we're going to do our HIJK in range. But yeah, our first mental starting point is 50, so we know it'll work. All right. But yeah, guys, this is not for spamming. Cardinal has instructions to just remove and then boot, because we are here for learning purposes. Like I said, all this is free, and we have best intentions in mind, and we just want to have a good, clean, supportive community. All right. Thanks, Cardinal. All right, so now we need to test and see how in the world we need to do this. So this is a little junky because, again, I wanted to show you exactly my first attempt at this. All right, so, and that function, that mathematical function, or actually I keep saying function, but if we look over here, I think somebody already threw it up, but it's going to be K. So if we go, I think I changed it around so it's in order. So this is our 20, this is our 9, this is our 6. So we're going to stay consistent. So I times T plus J times N plus K times, let's see, K times S. So this is our loop right here. Here's our variable. Every time through I times 20, J times N, K times S. All right, so now we want to test this. And I actually have this here, and I was going back, and I peeked a little bit, and I was like, I need to exactly know. So we're throwing into the dictionary, because I remember this was very similar to my first way that I solved our primes. Oh my goodness, if you haven't seen that attempt at how to find a prime number on my first example, it was horrid. Yes, TT is the total number of chicken nuggets that we are, TTL, that we are wanting. So we're going to input, so our first attempt is going to be 50. So we're going to input nuggets 50, and we want to get out the number of each combination. How many 20s, how many 9s, how many 6s. Because I think what I originally did in this go-round was I let it go through every single combination, and then I sought out, and then you could actually then see, because you're going to see, well, the editor, I don't want anybody to be overloaded. All this is the Python editor, because I know that it can be challenging for new people to find the right editor and feel like they're overwhelmed. I just use shell. When every single one of my tutorials, it's the Python editor script and then the shell, because that's sufficient. Thank you, Cardinal. Yeah, cook if we're not gonna spam here. All right. Okay. So now here's my. Thank you, Cardinal. All right. Because in my experience, there can be some issues for where programs are and files are laid out for new people, and PyCharm can be very overwhelming and frustrating. So if you have experience with PyCharm, you're very easily able to put this into your PyCharm program. So that's that. All right. So then I'm making, so right here is I have my key value. I'm putting these in, and I want you then to be able to go back and look at all the combinations that are here so far. So here's my key, and then I'm going to be assigning the value. And it's going to be my K. Or did I change this? Nope, let's stay consistent. I, J, K. So what am I doing here? So each time through, it's going to get the total. It's then going to write this key to this dictionary, and we're going to see the values. Again, I know this doesn't really have a purpose right now, but I have no problem showing you the absolute really ugly stuff that I did when I was first learning to program. So now what in the world am I doing here? So then we got to come out here, break. Actually, did I? Yep. Then if TTL equals total, then break, then, nope. All right, for those of you who don't know, you can de-indent a region. Boom. Yeah, Yeah, that works. Let's do that, and then, yeah, here we go. Then if total equals tote. All right, anybody see my mistake? I missed a equal sign. So let's go through this real slow, because I think we have probably quite a few new people. Yes, we are going to print. But, all right, so break only moves you out one for loop. So as we come through, we need to kick out each single time. So, all right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. So now I need to. Now we're gonna get some printing, and this is yep. All right. 1, 2, 3. Y. Then X, Y, and 2. Sorry, I just realized off the top of my head that I rearranged these and I didn't change it. 6 piece. Then, you know, I know you guys are, I don't want you bored out of your mind. So this is 1, this is 0, and then this is 9, and this is 20. All right, so I just realized I changed that last part, didn't catch that. So now when this is reached, our tote of our combinations of each of these matches this. Stop, 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 and then print out the combinations. And I need to then come here and 1, 2, 3, close this out. So why am I doing this like this? Because I want this on multi-lines. So when I use my 3 quotation marks, it's a multi-line control of a print statement. So this is my F string formatting, and I want this to go into my that needs to be, sorry, TTL. When this is here, then out of my dictionary, grab my key, and that needs to be TTL as well. So you could change this where once this total happens, again, I wanted to show you how ugly my first attempt at this was. So all right, let's just run it. Oh, actually, we need to pass in nuggets 50. Okay, so the way that I had this come out is I said I want the total. So there's my total that I pass in. Then I want to see how many combinations of 6. So that's what this placement is, because I'm writing this to my dictionary. I need 5 6-piece, and I need 0 9-piece, and I need 1 20-piece. Now, all right. So let's pass in a test to see. So right now I told you 50 works. About 49. Oh, okay. So I get 2 20-piece, 1 9-piece. Okay, that's pretty what, 40. Hang on, let me see if I remember. All right. 47. How do we get that? How do we get 47? So 3 So 3 6s, a 9, and a 20 piece. All right, so now we're just kind of hitting and missing. So now let's change this up. So we know we have skills to do some things like this. So right now, if I go and I change, let's just see, combo. So now I just want to test a bunch of range of numbers. For I in range, let's go 0 through 100. Now we know 0 is going to throw an error, so let's just try this. Nuggets, I, and combo append, I, then accept, print, I, no results. And I think I just changed that up on you guys. So now, bam, that was fast. So let's see, where does this, so of course 0, 0, 0. So we can't find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we can find 6. Then we can't get 7, 8, 9. So as you can see, we can go through, and I'll just show you. But if memory serves, 44. Literally from 44 chicken nuggets to the end of time, you can find any number of combinations. So as you can see right here, no results is the first, is the last one at 43. You could even find 40, what was it, 39 blew me away. So yeah, you can have 39, and of course 36 is really simple. It's just 6 by 6. But this was an absolutely awesome example. Well, yeah, I wish I could speak other foreign languages. My younger son is doing Spanish, and my older son, he's been talking about trying to learn Russian. So, all right, now let's get on to some very cool stuff. We got 30 minutes, and if this gets buried, you can always just click over to my channel from the description down below and check this video out, and I think I am probably going to redo it. But hey, just to remind you guys, it's been 30 minutes since I've done this. Make sure you're going to buy a shirt or a hat. I think I'm going to buy a hat so I can have it on. To buy a hat, and sorry about the dot on my face. I forget it. The time of year is changing. I usually don't film this time of day, so I need to hang something in front of. Hope it's not too disturbing for everybody, other than my normal face being on the screen. But all right, let's see. Okay, itertools. Let's just get after it. So what is itertools? Let's get down to the bottom. Import itertools. Itertools. So here is a bunch of methods from itertools. So let's run help on itertools. 692 lines. Let's bring this over just a touch. So we're going to go through some of them. I think the one you'll like the most. We're going to skip accumulate because I wasn't sure what our next topic was going to be, but we are going to do operators but we need to learn about operators before we can do accumulate. That is a perfect example. But count, we're going to do today. If we have time, we're going to look at chain. We're going to look at chain from iterable, combination, count, and then we're going to use the tools that we have to go over a suggested video that I had that I was able to tie these all together. But if you guys are new here, I thought that this would work because there was a lot of chatter about how to practice for loops and all of these things, make sure you check out my video from yesterday about filling up your toolbox. So that's why I'm probably most excited about this video or this stream today about itertools, because once you learn these things, if you when you have a problem, you want to make sure that you have a variety of tools instead of just walking around with one tool that you have and you keep trying to just use that hammer, because everything will start to look like a nail. That's an old-timey carpenter saying. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Chain, count. Yeah, I think count is probably one of the coolest, and then we'll just head on. So let's comment all this out. There's our stuff from 2 weeks ago. All right, so from, like I said, we're gonna do chain first. So from itertools, import chain. So chain is a very cool one. So does anybody not know what I just typed? From itertools, import chain. So dir on itertools. So now, so here's my module of itertools. Then here is, let me see if I can do my alphabet. There's chain. So now, once I run, so if I wanted to run help on, if I wanted to see the documentation for chain in my shell environment right here, I have to do itertools.chain. Now, with this keyword from, I jump into itertools and I pull out just chain. So now when I run this, I come over here. So here's the documentation for itertools.chain. So the chain method inside itertools. Chain class, inside module, itertools. Now that I've done this, I can just run help on chain. So I've grabbed chain, pulled this out, and now this is a function method. Sorry, guys. Boom. Just like this. All right. So now let's see what in the world this does. So x equals ABC, y equals DEF, z equals GHI. Had to cheat on my alphabet. So for I in chain, x, y, z, and print I. So chain will literally link all these together. Boom. And then make a new iterable. And as we know, we can iterate through an iterable, and this just kick them straight out to wherever you'd like them to go. Now let's say we had these in a list. So we got X, Y, and Z. Throw this in a list. Now let's look at yeah, so now I have chain here, right? I have chain, and I run dir on chain. So I'm one level inside of chain now. From iterable. This is one of the rare ones where a method then has a method. All right. Is everybody following that? So, yep. Very nice. Very, very nice. Somebody already caught the args. And that means it can take an endless amount. We use this on our, I can't remember. but that is a very good checks. Very good catch. So now that we throw this in, now we go. Now I throw it in an iterable, a list. So for I in chain dot from iterable. I could have just hit, but I don't want to do that. So then I pass it this, and I go print I. I get the same result. But if you already have a list and you don't need to go through, you can just slap that in there. All right. Now we're getting close to some of my favorite ones. All right. I don't need that anymore. Let's just... And again, if you are new, what I have been doing, and I'd like to say that I'm very successful. So I've been adding. So down over on my page, what you'll see is, I know the more recent ones. The older ones are not, but the more current ones, no, it's not better than PyCharm. It's just, you don't need to do anything to it to run a, because actually PyCharm then pulls in the interpreter and runs it off here. This is the bare bones. I am here for new people to remove any concerns, any fear, any... I'm here to tear down any fear or any anything that can scare new people away, because a new person learning programming, the likelihood of them running into a challenge of any type slows them down from learning. I want to show them how they can start solving and writing code with the littlest of challenges. You don't have to go and get other software. I'm here to teach them how to learn to program, how to get success under their belt. Then they can go off and solve other problems and learn about what interpreter they want or what editor they want to use. Okay. All right. So sorry about that little tangent I just saw. But no, I'm not going to get into a discussion about what editor to use. It's that I'm here to show you guys how to program. All right. Combinations. From itertools, import combinations as COMB. So now what did I do? So now I just told you what this was. Now I changed it and added this. All right, so I've thrown up another keyword called as. That's called aliasing. So I'm bringing this in, but before we had chain, brought in chain right here. Well, now I don't have to type, like if I did this and did as C, chain would be called C. So now combinations is called com. Okay, so now when I do COMB, it has been aliased, referred to, nicknamed COMB. All right, so cool. That's what that is. So now letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All right. Okay. I caused a all-out war saying that I'm not going to talk about editors. I see a few people left. All right. Okay. All right. So, I got sidetracked. I know where I was talking about. GitHub. So I know on my current videos that get published, it has a link to my GitHub. I have a running file of the freeCodeCamp.org, and then I also throw in the notes of the day from the shell. So you can see everything that we typed live or ran. It will be dated today's date, always the current date, and then the freeCodeCamp.py, it might be just fcc.py. That is the running extension, and I add to it and I edit it every time after class. Right now, what we're doing is we're running through the module itertools. We got done earlier this morning going through how to write a function to capture chicken nugget combinations. If I wanted 50 chicken nuggets, how many combinations of each packaging quantity would I need? So there we go. That's that. And then now we're on our third example, our third method for itertools. We're looking at combination right now. And what we're going to do with combination is I want to see, well, I don't want to misspeak too fast. All right, X, I want to run combinations of letters. And if I spell right, it's even my variable. 3. So, all right, so what am I doing? Should probably run help on COMB. Okay. Very good documentation here. All right, so it takes in two arguments, an iterable and the quantity of the combinations from that iterable. So if I were to pass range 4, so that's 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Then I want all the combinations of 3 of those, all right? And there we go. So now to can be a little much to see in my experience. So that's why our example is going to be for letters. So here's my iterable. It's 7 letters, and I want all the combinations of. It's going to be this. So let's just do it. So Y, and we're going to print these out. We're going to do list comprehension. Join I for I in X. Boom. So this is making then another iterable of all and I want to then join them, and that's supposed to be dot. Now let's run this and see what in the world we get. Let's bring this in so we can see it. And this is the example that I love to do. There are 35 combinations, so I want you to look at this. So ABC, boom. Then ABD, ABE, AB, so we're here right here. ABF, then ABG. Then it moves over. AC, and it's ACD, then ACE. So all right, does everybody see that? So I have this string. I have an iterable, and this iterable is a string. And I want 3 of those with all the combinations. And Python has this wonderful algorithm that goes through and goes, okay, you just want 3 of these, and you want all the combinations of an assortment of these 3, which happens to be strings. So that's the first one, and then it moves over and does the first 2. Then it comes through and it skips over to C and D. So then A and C stay stationary. Then D, E, F, and G. As we can see, we got here's a great example. So I want to show you. So it's A, C, and G. So A, C, and G. Then it moves over to A, D, and E. So boom, boom, boom. So as it's going through, because if it were to do any combination, any other pattern than this, it would have duplicates, right? So this shows you how to logically think about an assortment, just like our combination and our wheel of flipping around like an odometer or a clock. So, all right, it is 47 minutes after. So it's time to make sure we're going down and buying a shirt, a hat, a cup. I think there's a mouse pad, something. Make sure we're supporting Free Code Camp. They're doing an absolutely awesome job. All right, so let's see. All right, okay, we got 13 minutes. Let's see if we can fly through this, because you guys, I remember when I saw this one. So now we're going to do count. Who remembers next? Who remembers next? Yes, you can watch this video after Bo has this set up. Awesome. Thank you, Cardinal. All right, so from itertools, import count. All right. What in the world does count do? It's so cool. Oh yeah, let's just look at it. Count, itertools count. Help, count. It's so neat. Oh, wait a second. Oh, what is this? Okay. First value 0. It's equivalent. Start step. So, oh, look at this. We know a double underscore next means. This means that when we create an object, a count object, we can use next on it. And here is the awesome thing about count. Every other time when we have a generator object and we use next, it is exhausted, right? It has a stopping point. So a generator object has limitations. Count does not. It literally just starts. You will never run out. So all right, let's just look at this. So count equals 1. So now I put in, I call x, right? So I still call x, right? X count stays 1 until I call next on it. Call next on x. 1, but then it's done something. Now it's 2. They work together. So if I want something to be counted and I don't want to have to keep up with it, and I know I need to use next on it, but I don't know where that ending is going to be, like a list of customers, a list of accounts, I don't need it to end. I don't want to have to go back and go, oh my goodness, kind of like what we did. I doubt any of you remember, but in 2000, we had an issue where all of the birthdays, nobody thought we'd ever run into 2000. So all of the birthdays were basically built into 1900s. So we had to go back and change everything. So we set a limitation. So now everything has been removed. So this next is just like that. So now when I call, let's call x again, x stays there until I call next on it. And now x is 3, and it just sits there, and these work hand in hand. So all right, I think I got 9 minutes. Let's see, and then I gotta go. I gotta get moving. I got a lot to do today. So I hate that we only get an hour today, but still, and also probably gonna be going to 2 weeks. Okay, chicken nugget problem for the. How many? Okay, Christian. Let's see. For the chicken nugget problem, we'll have to. Cardinal, make a note of that question right there from Christian, and see. Help me remember to look at it, because we got 9 minutes. I want to try to do this different ascending. So I was going through all the notes whenever I have. So this was an awesome question that came up, and it worked perfect for itertools, if I remember. Yeah. So how in the world could you do a number pyramid? Because here's a perfect, I love number shapes, especially pyramids, triangles, diamonds. It's an outstanding exercise for for loop understanding. Okay, so how in the world could we do this using the tools that we have? Very simply. So, all right, start equals, we got to bring in our awesome toolkit. All right. So from itertools, import count. So then count 1 by 2. So what did anybody notice what count does? Help count. All right. Okay. So start or count, it takes a start and step. Step is the iteration. So we want to go every 2, so we don't have to handle the spaces. We're going to use the tools that we added another tool to our toolbox. Then our num is going to be count. We're going to start at 1. Count 1. All right. So for I in range 4, then print, I think this is 1, 2, 3. Okay, that looks right. Times 3 minus I. I forgot how convoluted this was. Excuse me. And all right, so what does end do? Anybody remember? All right, I know I'm flying through a lot. So what does inside the print? Ooh, that's not right, and that's ugly. That is absolutely not right. This needs another parentheses. There we go. And we check that. Yep, I got it. So what is my end equals empty string? Who wants to comment that? Puts it on the same line? Absolutely. More correct, it suppresses the new line, because the default for print right here, shoot, let me see. Yeah, I think I got this sized right. The default argument for end is a new line. Every time Python runs, unless we change it, it's going to return to a new line. Didn't pass anything, new line, move down. So when I do this, I get 2 lines. So actually I've never done this, so this is why I love, if I then suppress it, I'm back to getting 1 line. So this automatically gives me an empty line. So when I pass it a empty line, I get 2 because the default is. So I pass an empty line, new line, and I suppress a new line, I'm back to 1 line. So cool. This is why I like doing these same examples over and over and over again, because it makes me think, it makes me better. So you guys, the questions, look, this is super important. If you guys have a question, ask it. Even if you or if it's something you just learned, ask that same question, because somebody else doesn't know that information. All right. For J in range. Next, this is where it gets cool. Next, start. Boom. Boom. Print. Oops. Print. Next. Num. Then end. Now I need a space. And I think there's one mistake in here. I think I left it on purpose. All right. So we need to go, this is it right here. Awesome. So let's see what this does. Why does this just run and taper off? Because I'm running through and I need to make sure that I have a starting point. So there we go. So, all right. Well, I think that is a great stopping point. But look, you guys are asking a ton of good questions. And I just want to, again, we got another 15 minutes went by. Just make sure we're supporting Free Code Camp. But look, I just can't tell you guys this enough. Just keep programming. Just keep writing. Just keep asking questions. There are a ton of ways and a ton of resources. Free Code Camp is a perfect example. My channel fills a gap of the micro video. If you can't find something, I promise you, it has a simple, small video on my channel. Every single one of these topics has its own video. The chicken nugget example, it's its own video. You can go through. Some people love these long formats. Other folks want these small things when they're working on a project and they can't remember or don't know, and it's fine, but don't ever delete anything. If I can tell you that, I wish I would have heard that forever ago when I was starting to learn to program. Don't ever delete anything. Comment it out, save it, archive it, however. And also, make notes in the side. When I'm off here, I go, okay, it's the starting point. Because look, you're going to come back a year later, 5 months later, 2 months later, and go, what in the world was I doing? What did that mean? Make notes over here. Because look, when you get skilled up and you're passing this on to somebody else, you know what that variable means. Somebody else is not going to. That's very clear. If I were to have that as X, nobody knows, what does X do? Start is very clear. It's the starting point. And then you have a comment over here. Make sure you're making notes for yourself. Don't ever delete anything. Reach out, ask questions, be part of a group. Look, this is already hard enough. Don't be on an island. Don't do this by yourself. And always, always, always make sure you're filling up your toolbox with new skills, new problems. And then here's the thing that I love. After you've solved a problem, you're like, oh, I'm so big and bad. I've done this. Look, this is garbage. But it worked. Okay, get it to work. Get some success under your belt. I used to love hearing, well, you need to go get some confidence. How do you go get confidence? You go get successes. I want you to go get successes. I want you to go learn how to do a problem, solve the problem. Go back, do it a month later, solve it again. You know what? You're going to write better code. I remember, if you guys haven't seen the ones that I showed you about prime numbers, go look at the live stream that I did on Free Code Camp. I showed you the iteration of how I did it. The first one that I did was disgusting, but it worked. But it was what the skills that I had at the time. I used what I had at the time. And then I got more skills. Then I filled up my toolbox and I went from there. So, all right. That's my little rant for the day. But 2 weeks, I don't think I'll be able to be back in town for next Tuesday. Does not look that way right now. So I don't want to set it up and cancel it, because we might be going to one every other week. So let's plan on that. But please, 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 guys, make sure you're going and checking out my channel down below, seeing if there's anything there that I can help you with. Join our Discord, buy some Free Code Camp merch. Make sure you're helping them out. Make sure you're subscribed, and join their awesome organization. I love the opportunity to be able to do this. It really, truly is an honor. So I want to appreciate Bo and Quincy. They are doing some phenomenal work. But all right, guys, I'm heading out today. Thanks as always. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing, and helping out somebody. Look, if you want to be a better programmer, go show somebody something you've learned. It'll cement your understanding. So, all right, guys, thank you as always, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.